Welcome to the American State Bank Sports Complex. Let me show you around. So right now we're in the spacious head house of the complex. On my left here we have the concession stand, and then on my right here we have a seating area, whether that's for students, spectators, or fans to come and enjoy before and in between games. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Dome. In the Dome, we have the space available for 2 full-size softball fields. However, this space is also utilized by the football, baseball, and soccer teams, as well as for other various athletic events. So the Dome has impacted the softball team in a variety of ways. First, we used to practice during the winter months over in the rec center, but the limited space availability never really allowed us to hit our full potential, whereas in here, we can fit 2 full-size softball fields. We're also able to start games much earlier in the season. We have a range of equipment available here at the Dome, whether it's the batting cages, the soccer goals, or even a field goal available for the football team. It's a huge opportunity to have the space available to practice in the off-season, especially for our outdoor athletic teams. Another great thing about the American State Bank Sports Complex is that it's not just for Dordt athletes, it's for the entire community. Whether that's high school soccer leagues, open turf time, or even a space for intramurals. The American State Bank Sports Complex will change not only how we practice as Dordt athletes, but also how we interact with the community as a whole. Thanks for letting me take you on a little tour. Hope you stop by soon.
Today's Dordt Media Network broadcast, brought to you by Cruise & Cruise PC, Certified Public Accountants. Offices in Sioux Center and Lamars, helping you attain your financial goals is their commitment.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by Joyner and Dordt Dentistry, providing implants, dentures, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa, life in the center of everything, where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors, knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
Today's broadcast brought to you by the Van Engelen Agency, your trusted independent insurance agency in Northwest Iowa. Contact the Van Engelen Agency, Sioux Center Advisors, Mark Hulsoff, Lisa Dykstra, or Kyle Blankers. Today's broadcast brought to you by Sioux Concrete Construction, Rob Sioux and owner, excelling in flat work, poured walls, and decorative concrete projects, dedicated to providing customers with a good experience and quality workmanship. SiouxConcrete.com. Your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
Homegrown. Community. Family.
Innovators.
Growth.
Faith.
Legacy.
We are dedicated to egg.
Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, and window treatments at your local Furniture Mart. They are family-owned and located in downtown Sioux Center.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Ski-Bout Window and Door, your local window experts. Whether you're building or replacing, Ski-Bout Window and Door has the products, people, and knowledge to get the job done right. See Ski-Bout and see the difference. Today's broadcast brought to you by Prairie Life Chiropractic, combining skill and expertise that spans the entire chiropractic, acupuncture, and physical health spectrum. They want you to move better and live better.
Hi, my name is Lynn Marie Tremolian.
My name is Tyler Vanderwoon.
Hi, my name is Noah Zylstra. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm from Pella, Iowa.
And I'm from Springfield, Kentucky.
Hi, my name is Samantha Wilbur.
Hey, my name is Eli Levtinsky from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I am from Primgar, Iowa.
I'm Parker Freeman. I'm from Ontario, California.
And you're watching the Dordt Media Network.
You're watching the Dordt Media Network.
Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
And you're watching Dordt Media Network.
Thanks for watching the Dordt Media Network.
Looking for top-notch rental equipment for your next project? Look no further than Rental, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. Rental, your regional equipment rental experts. Visit them online, rental.com, or call 712-722-3928. Today's broadcast brought to you by Flooring and Design in Sioux Center. Whether you are building a new home, remodeling your current home, or wanting to freshen up your decor, we can help make your home as unique as you. Stop in to see us at Flooring and Design.
And a pleasant good morning, everyone, and welcome to the campus of Dordt University. Specifically, we are on the Defender Cross Country course on this beautiful Saturday morning. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s right now. Race time about that as well. Very little wind. It's a beautiful day to host a cross country meet, and we have the Sunflower Open this morning. Women's 5K race will start at 10, followed by the men's 8K race at 10:35. The name is Matt, the SID. I get to describe the action, call the action that's going before us here on the Defender Cross Country course. And thank you for joining us on the Dordt Media Network. Let's do the propers. Let's introduce the people who have made this broadcast possible. Drew DeVries will provide the drone footage. We have Parker, we have Tyler, we have Noah, and then, of course, the champion, Rich Lodewijk, the Dordt Media Network person in charge, so to speak, the presidente, if you will. And that is the crew that is providing the footage, the video footage, and I get to provide the audio. The Defender Cross Country teams, the last teams of the fall season to have an actual competition. They have been practicing for a while, since mid-August. It seems like a long time. That's because it has been a long time. They're the last Defender team this fall to be in a competition, and they're ready to go here at the Sunflower Open. This starts a busy day of athletics and all home events on this Saturday. Starts again with the women's cross country race at 10 a.m., followed by the men at about 10:35. And then we'll shift gears. We'll get the press box ready and get soccer ready to go, as the women's soccer team will be playing Nebraska Wesleyan at 1 p.m., followed by the men's game against Central at 3:15 p.m., and then volleyball will be hosting Northwestern JV at 3:30, followed by the varsity match at 5 p.m. All of those things will be live on the Dordt Media Network. They, as well as the Athletic Communications Office, have a very busy day. The Defenders on the women's side come in with a number 7 ranking under head coach Nate Wolf, now in his 10th season as the head coach of Dordt University, assisted once again by Jesse Veenstra and Bethany Ten-Haken. Dordt, the GPAC favorite. They were picked to win the conference, something that they have done several years in a row. We'll talk about the success of this Dordt cross-country program. On the women's side, they have won 4 consecutive GPAC titles dating back to the 2020 season. And in terms of competition, we have a total of 8 women's teams and about roughly around 100 runners once you throw in the unattached runners in this women's 5K race. And yes, they are running a 5K this afternoon, or this morning rather. The next time that Dordt hosts in a couple of weeks, that will actually be a 6K, and that is the distance for women's cross country. But this race will be a 5K, just a little bit shorter, and back to I think they made the switch last year. So 2 seasons ago, it was still a 5K. Last year was the first time for a 6K, but we'll run a 5K today for the women's side. We're going to take our first break, and we'll preview the Dordt University women's cross-country team. That's up next on this broadcast provided by the Dordt Media Network. Thanks for joining us.
German Farmers Mutual, protecting the farm and home since 1891. Northwest Iowa's local insurance partner. Online at germanfarmers.com.
NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City. Whether you're looking for repairs, replacement, or maintenance for your air conditioning or heating system, Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City will exceed your expectation.
The Grain House, located in Hall, Iowa, bringing you amazing coffee, energy drinks, breakfast, lunch, and so much more. A big city feel, only 10 minutes away from Sioux Center, with a second location opening soon in Sanborn.
The Hope Fund helps cover a myriad of situations that students find themselves in, most of them not self-inflicted. It could be the medical condition of a family member. It could be natural disasters. 100% of what's donated to that fund goes to students for real-world need. It gives Defender Nation an opportunity to come together and help students and their families who are in need. We get to participate in something that is so much bigger than ourselves.
See Proactive Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab when the aches and pains won't go away. Visit proactivephysicaltherapy.net when you want to get back to the activities you love.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online, 712realty.com, leading you home.
And welcome back to the Defender Cross Country course on this beautiful Saturday morning. Sunflower Open coming up next here on the Dordt Media Network. Just looking across the way, we're situated in the soccer press box, and this cross-country course kind of runs around this complex. There's one point where it goes behind us, but it's just a beautiful morning, and you see the flowers in the prairie. They're in full bloom, the nice yellow flowers. You got the cornfield that's turning color straight from us here, and of course the soccer field in tremendous shape. Over at the finish line, got a new feature over on that complex. The new finish line station is set, so that's a new feature. This is just a beautiful course, a beautiful venue to host this Sunflower Open. Women's 5K race set to start at 10 a.m. I thought we would start by talking about the Dordt women's program. Let's set the stage for them under head coach Nate Wolf. And if you want to hear a preseason interview, Mike Biker interviewed Coach Wolf. That is linked on our website in the preview, and will also be featured in social media and stuff, so you can listen to the full interview with Coach Wolf. Dordt has had a tremendous run of late, one of the premier programs both in the conference and nationally. They've won 4 straight GPAC titles, all under the direction of current head coach Nate Wolf. In fact, you stretch that even further, they've won 6 of the last 7, 10 of the last 12 conference titles. Let's take a look back at the 2023 season. That's a good place to start. Defenders won the GPAC title with 28 points. That is a very good score. 7 runners finished among the top 15, which means they earned all conference honors, led by GPAC champion and conference runner of the year Jessica Kampman-Walzak, who graduated. There were all conference runners from last year. Walzak, of course, won it. Molly Mulder was 4th. Jessica up for 6th. Lucy Borkowski 8th. Taylor Drogue was 9th. Isabel Webb was 10th. Christine Hanemichael 15th. And also honored was head coach Nate Wolf. He was recognized as the GPAC Coach of the Year last season. And then the Defenders proceeded to run at the NAI National Championship. That was once again in Vancouver, Washington, and they placed 10th at that national championship. Overall, the Defenders won 2 meets last year. They finished as the team runner-up in 2 meets as well, and they placed in the top 10 in all 7 meets. National success, let's talk about what Dordt has done on the national scene. They've qualified for the NAI National Championship 12 straight years, dating back to the 2011 season. And you go even further in depth, they finished among the top 10 8 times, including 4 straight years. This season, they start out as the GPAC favorite. They were picked first in the preseason poll, and they come in with a number 7 ranking nationally, leading the NAI teams there. About the 2024 roster, and again, Dordt making its season debut. They returned 6 of their top 10 runners from last season. A total of 23 runners returned from last year. Gone, however, are some familiar names. If you follow Dordt cross country and track, you will know these names. Jessica Kampman-Walzak, we already mentioned her. She has graduated. Lucy Borkowski as well, kind of a mainstay in this program, as is Taylor Drogue. And then Christine Hanemichael, 4 all-conference runners, graduated last year, but you can tell by the roster size, a big roster, a talented roster for head coach Nate Wolf. In fact, there are 38 total runners. Among that group, there are 5 seniors, 7 juniors, 12 sophomores, and 14 freshmen. How does the cross-country season work in terms of the schedule? This is the season opener for the Defenders, of course, and scheduled are 4 meets during the regular season, 2 home today, and then also on October 12th. This is the smaller meet of the 2. There was a big meet last week, the Augie Twilight, that a lot of schools that might be coming here competed in, and it's tough to compete back-to-back. The Defenders will also run at Wayne State and at Mahoney State Park for a regular season. That's a preview of the upcoming GPAC Championship, which will be held at Mahoney. That's near Ashland, Nebraska. GPAC Championship on November 9, and the National Championship, of course, will be held at Columbia, Missouri for the first time, and that'll be on November 22, runs at the Gans Creek Cross Country Course. That is the end goal, and Coach Wolf always does a nice job of getting his team to run their best in the postseason, leading up to the GPAC Championship and then tapering down to the NAI Championship. That is where the goals are set. And again, he's assisted by Jesse Veenstra and Bethany Tenhaken. Coach Wolf in his 10th year, and he has been a 7-time Coach of the Year on the women's side. His first season was back in 2015. We'll take another break. We'll preview the other teams and the competition for the Defenders here this morning. You are watching the Sunflower Open on the Dordt Media Network.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Volink Enterprises Incorporated, building homes for families and businesses in Northwest Iowa since 1962. Let's work together to bring your vision into reality. Volink Enterprises Incorporated.
And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping, and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
Today's Dordt Media Network livestream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University. Thanks for watching.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for your next project? Look no further than Rental, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. Rental, your regional equipment rental experts. Visit them online, rental.com, or call 712-722-3928. NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek. This broadcast brought to you by the Ullman Funeral Homes. Chad Ullman, Lori Ewell, and Taylor Van Witchell, providing professional attention to every detail. Today's broadcast brought to you by M&H True Value of Rock Valley. Behind every project is True Value. Start right. Start here.
And welcome back to the Defender Cross Country Course Sunflower Open, a 10 a.m. start time for the women's 5K race. We talked about Dordt. We talked about the course built in 2019. Let's talk about the other teams that are here briefly. There are 8 women's teams, and among those, there are 6 GPAC teams: Briarcliff, College of St. Mary, Dordt, Morningside Northwestern, and Mount Marty, who have a North Star team from the NAI. That is Dakota State. And then you also have one NCAA Division II team, USF, scheduled to compete. Briefly, as we go here, let's talk about the competition. Briar Cliff, under the direction of head coach Chandler Cork. The Chargers are a really small roster. They finished 12th last year at the conference meet. They were picked 12th in the preseason poll. Most of these teams, other than Dordt, have had a meet already. A lot of these teams competed at Augie Twilight, including Briar Cliff. They were led by Maria Russell last week at that Augie Twilight, and Briar Cliff finished 29th last year. College of St. Mary, the Flames, Derek Fye, longtime coach in his 11th season since 2014. The St. Mary's picked to finish right in the middle of the conference, 7 out of 12. This is their first meet. I think they're the only other team besides Dordt that are making their season debut. The Flames, they finished 6th at the conference meet last year. They had one national qualifier, but she graduated. But the Flames return several of their runners. It looks like 7 or 8 from a team that finished 6th last year at the conference championship. Keep an eye on College of St. Mary. Dakota State from the North Star Athletic Conference under the direction of longtime head coach Anthony Dreelan, a Dakota State Hall of Famer. He's in his 12th season. Dakota State, they finished 2nd in the North Star last season, picked to finish 2nd this year behind Dickinson State. They had a nice showing last week at the Augie Twilight, 9th out of 20 teams. They were 3rd among NAI teams. They were led by the duo of Lindsey Roth and Kiera Miller. And Dakota State, they had a couple of athletes last year who qualified for nationals, including the defending North Star individual champion Valeria Kurakova. Lindsey Roth also a national qualifier. Then you go to Morningside under the direction of head coach Frank Wallace in his 3rd season. He was a Briar Cliff grad and a former coach at Wayland Baptist. Mustangs picked 5th out of 12 teams. They finished 5th last year. They're led by Courtney Sporer, the reigning GPAC runner of the week. She had quite a week last week at the Augie Twilight. She was the top NAI runner. She finished 24th overall at that race. Mount Marty also in competition today. Daniel Fitzsimmons is the coach. They ran at Augie but didn't have a team score. They were led by Isabel Ramsgard. They were 10th last year at the GPAC Championship, picked 9th. Then you go to Northwestern under head coach Scott Barkey in his 13th season. Coach Barkey has led the Red Raiders to 6 top 5 finishes in the GPAC Championship. Their best finish conference-wise was a 2nd-place finish in 2017. The Red Raiders competed at Augie last week. They were 12th out of 20 teams. 12 runners under 21 minutes in that 5K race. They were 4th among national teams. And the Red Raiders, I'm told by Bradley, the SID at Northwestern, probably not running a full squad today. And then finally, USF is the final team, NCAA Division II squad. They also ran last week, and they are led by their All-American, and she was the winner at last year's Defender cross-country race. And, sorry, looking for the name. It's a Hot Walk. She was a preseason All-American, and she was 5th at the NCAA championship last year at the D2 ranks. We're going to take our final break, and we'll have the start of the race. 10 a.m. start time. You can follow the results on DakotaTiming.com, also linked on the GoDort.com website. We'll come back for the start of the race in a moment.
Today's broadcast brought to you by the Van Engelen-Hoven Agency, your trusted independent insurance agency in Northwest Iowa. Contact the Van Engelen-Hoven Agency, Sioux Center Advisors, Mark Hulsoff, Lisa Dykstra, or Kyle Blankers. Today's broadcast brought to you by Cruz & Cruz, PC, certified public accountants. Offices in Sioux Center and Lamar's. Helping you attain your financial goals is their commitment. Today's broadcast brought to you by Joyner and Dordt Dentistry, providing implants, dentures, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Nutrition. Transform your health and wellness with 712 Nutrition. Stop in today for healthy, delicious protein shakes bundled with a supportive community. Start feeling your best today.
And we are off. The start of the women's 5K race at the Sunflower Open. Glad you could join us here on the Dordt Media Network. Nice shot of the field. The field consists of around 100 runners. There are 8 teams scheduled to compete. You have a couple of unattached athletes as well in this field. This is a 5K race. These ladies will do 2 full laps, and they're heading to the south side of campus. And this is a long downhill portion of this race. A good way to start. However, you do have to climb back, so usually what goes down must come up. And so these athletes are enjoying a nice downhill stretch for the moment. Finishing talking about USF, part of the NCAA Division II, Northern Sun. They were picked to finish 5th. They placed 5th last year, and again, they have the Northern Sun individual champion, Hot Walk. She's a graduate student at the University of Sioux Falls, a local product from Washington High School. But last week, a nice showing. She was the top Northern Sun runner at the Augie Twilight. USF returns a lot of their runners from last year that finished 5th. And here we go. Athletes are now down by that far road, making the turn toward the west. And then they will run probably about 400 meters on that road. Then they will come back towards the soccer field, toward the press box. That kind of gives you an orientation of where they're going. They are running west now. This continues to be a downhill stretch. Northwestern, Dordt, Briarcliff, Mount Marty, College of St. Mary, all part of this field. And Morningside are the conference teams, Dakota State, along with USF. Women running a 5K, and there you see they're going to make the turn now back towards the north, back towards where we are located, back towards the soccer fields, if you can picture our campus. Again, Dordt University, squad size of about 38, returning several all-conference runners, including Jessica Upfer, Molly Mulder, Isabella Webb, also a returning all-conference runner. Winners of 4 straight GPAC championships. And again, the drone footage provided by Drew DeVries. Outstanding job. So now the athletes who are going towards the north will be making kind of a sharp turn back towards the south. You may ask what the record is. Michelle Mumm from Morningside, the 5K record set back in 2017. 17:47 is that time. And there is a group of 3 that is out front. One of the Defender newcomers, Corinne Brown, who went to Sioux Falls Christian, a decorated high school career. She is the top Dordt runner for the time being. As you can see with this shot, this camera shot, the runners go past. They are making that sharp turn. It's a good chance to view all of the runners. Dordt squad size, again, about 38 runners. Most of them are scheduled to run, actually, this afternoon. 5 seniors, 7 juniors, 12 sophomores, and 14 freshmen. Dordt making its season debut, College of St. Mary. In terms of favorites here, other than the Dordt crew, keep an eye on Dakota State's Valeria Kurakova. She was a national qualifier. Her teammate Lindsay Roth, also a national qualifier. 2 runners from Dakota State. You have Courtney Sporer from Morningside, national qualifier. She's the reigning GPAC runner of the week for her performance last week at the Augie Twilight. Those are some of the favorites in this women's race on paper from the research that I did. Of course, Dordt has a couple of favorites as well. Corinne Brown, Molly Mulder, Jessica Upfer, all should be in the front of the pack. There's always surprises. Another newcomer for the Defenders, Olivia Hoagland, decorated career for Unity Christian. Two complete laps for the women's 5K. The men will run a standard 8K today, their standard distance. We'll have one less team on the men's side. That race set to start at around 10:35 or so. Again, this course built in 2019. Another aerial shot of the runners as they are coming back to the start area. They're going to start filtering back here. Nearing completion of one of these laps, one of the two laps. We're about 5 minutes gone by in this race. And again, the record, 17:47. That kind of gives you a ballpark figure. There's your leader. It is a Dordt runner, Corinne Brown, out with the lead. Corinne Brown from Sioux Falls Christian, a freshman, out in front. Looks like Morningside with Spohr also up there. A couple of unattached runners. Taylor Drogue, Lucy Borkowski, Christine Hanemichael. They're on the roster in terms of running. All three runners ran for the Defenders last year. So we'll see how this all plays out. Official time on Dakota Timing, 6.5 minutes into this race. And now the runners are heading back to the campus here, almost just to the west of the soccer field. Drone footage, there's the construction site behind the current Dordt Chapel. Brown continues to lead this field of 100 athletes. Freshman Corinne Brown. Is your leader right now in this women's 5K race. Coming back towards the soccer field here. Good shot of the newly constructed square apartments, the squares. Now in their second year of existence. Again, Drew DeVries, our drone flyer, doing such a good job. Tyler, the director. You got Parker and Noah out there on site. Dordt continues to lead this race. There is the lead cart, the rabbit, if you will. And now they are approaching the soccer field. They're going to be running right behind us here in a moment. Great shot there by our drone. Corinne Brown, the continued leader in this women's 5K race. There's the press box that we are broadcasting from. Good shot there. Dordt finished second last year in this race. USF was the team champion, I believe. Yeah, Dordt finished second out of 8 teams. So trying to win the team title today. Last year, Jessica Upfer was the top runner. Jessica Campman, was the top runner. Jessica Upfer, Lucy Borkowski, Christine Hanemichael all finished in the top 10. Molly Mulder just outside the top 10. The USF runner, Hat Hua, was the individual champion, 17:30. Which broke Mum's record. So one full lap. Your lead runners now on that starting stretch. They're going towards the south again, enjoying a nice downhill stretch. That is where your lead runners are. Just shy of 10 minutes gone by in this women's 5K race. $17:30 is the course record on the 5K side of things. Set by the All-American Hatois from University of Sioux Falls. Send me an email at matt.boss@dort.edu. Let us know where you're listening from. We're not opposed to giving some shout-outs, and glad that you could join us here on the Dordt Media Network. For cross country, mentioned in the pre-race portion of things, Defender cross country team's long-awaited season debut. They're the last team of the fall sports to have a competition. They came in early, just like a lot of our athletes, or all of the athletes. They've been practicing. They had a time trial, but they've been hard at work and finally get to compete, and they get to compete on their home course, the first of 4 regular season meets. Live results happening on Dakota Timing, which should be updating as they cross the finish line in a perfect world. Our leaders are probably about as far away from us as they can. They're on lap number 2, probably making the turn back towards the north. We'll get a shot of them, I'm sure. Last we saw a shot of the lead pack, it was Brown from Dordt, the freshman from Sioux Falls, as the leader. There is that starting stretch, the long straightaway that's slightly downhill, actually. Going towards the south. Your lead runners are ahead of this point. Your lead runners have made this turn that you're seeing right there on East 1st Street. Our second camera there. And there is your leader. It is still Brown from Dordt. And who has lengthened the lead now? That's Isabella Webb for Dordt. Second, Christine Hanemichael, a former defender. Graduated last year, unattached. Jessica Upfer running in 4th place right now. 3 defenders among the top 4. Led by Brown, Webb, Upfer. There's Taylor Drogue, Molly Mulder, Courtney Joyner, and Olivia Hoagland, another freshman from Unity. There are the Burtis sisters, JC and Jenny Burtis, sophomores. Returners for the defenders. So Dordt running well. 4 in the top 5. And the one that's not is a former defender in Christine Hanemichael. There's Jada Kerner, sophomore for the defenders from Freeman, South Dakota, making the turn. Just shy of 14 minutes, says the official time. There's Sam Anima for the defenders, senior from Ripon, California. Dordt running very well. They had 4 in the top 5, led by the freshman Corinne Brown, who really being aggressive in her very first collegiate race, a decorated career running for Sioux Falls Christian. So your lead group probably making the turn towards campus on that back stretch. The hard part for the runners there is it's pretty much all uphill for a while. So Dordt trying to win the team title in a good spot. Annika Hook goes by for the defenders. There's Addison Essabaggers, sophomore from Jenison, Michigan. Time on the clock, 15:06. 17:30 is your record. run by Hot Wok from USF. Fun name to say. I don't think she is running. She ran last week at Augie. I think she's getting the weekend off. It's not very common for runners to run back-to-back weeks because they're competing at a high level. $15:40 is your official time right now. Closing in, final stretches of this women's 5K race as the runners coming out of the prairie and into the home stretch. And there is your lead runner. Still a Dordt runner, passing the place where the men will actually run a little extra loop. So Corinne Brown for the defenders coming back towards campus from here. Oh, it's just over 400 meters. I've run the course several times. That's my best guess. Others who are familiar with the course may argue, but I think it's probably just over 400 meters. So Brown really has extended the lead. She was part of a pack of 3 throughout much of that first lap. But, boy, she is really running well. Brown now making the turn, heading towards the stretch where she'll run behind the press box here, and then she'll make the turn south and have about 100 meters to close towards our newly renovated finish line, which I'm sure we'll have on camera. It's beautiful over there. Got some flags on the top. There is your leader for the defenders. Not sure if it's a wire-to-wire lead, but she was up in that top group from the get-go. Chasing the lead cart, the rabbit, if you will. It is freshman Corinne Brown. Sioux Falls Christian product. Decorated high school career. There's the press box. If I were out the back window, I'd give you a wave, but I'm not. And Dordt looking to win the women's 5K race. Just shy of 18 minutes. And now the lead cart will circle off, and here is the home stretch. Dordt is going to win the individual title. And to me, it looks like the freshman Corinne Brown. Now, keep in mind, I don't see the bib numbers, so I'm going by what I see on the video stream and by memory. But I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, Tyler Vandermolen, that this is Corinne Brown. And Dordt will win the individual title. 18:43 is your unofficial time. Looks like Isabella Webb for the defenders. 18:40, and it is indeed Brown. Dordt goes 1-2. Jessica Upford was second. 18:47. There is Isabella Webb for the defenders. Dordt goes 1-2-3 here. Christine Hanemichael unattached, 19:06. Taylor Drogue, another unattached runner, former defender star, graduated last year, was 5th. J.C. Burris with a great closing lap, finished in 6th for the defenders, followed by Courtney Joyner, Lucy Borkowski, another Dordt legend, finished 8th, running unattached. And then Dakota State national qualifier Valeria Kurakova was 9th, and Jenny Burtis for Dordt finishes 10th. Molly Mulder 11th. So you have a number of Dordt runners. Dordt went 1 through 3, 6, 7, and 10. 6 runners in the top 10. Molly Mulder, followed by another freshman, Hannah Thong, running well. Olivia Hoagland for Dordt, another freshman, finished 13th. You have the first College of St. Mary runner, Kara Muller, finished in 14th place. Pair of Dakota State athletes, Madeline Silva and Lindsay Roth. Courtney Spohr of Morningside, 17th place. So Dordt doing an outstanding job, led by freshman Corinne Brown, 1840. Jessica Upfer, 1847. All 5 counters for Dordt are in, says the stats. Isabella Webb, a great race for her. Isabella Webb, 1858. I have that down as a PR in a 5K race. Jessica up for 1847. 2 seconds off of a PR for Upfer. J.C. Burtis, big PR for her. Courtney Joyner, also a PR in a 5K by a minute for Courtney Joyner, a junior from Orange City, Iowa. Runners continue to pour in and finish. It's best probably to watch and follow the live stats on some of these runners. Sam Onema, senior from Dordt, 33rd place. Adeline Crow, another freshman, just in front at 27th place. Olivia Graber for Dordt, a sophomore. Jenna Hirsch, freshman from Dordt. Ella Veldkamp, Sadie Fike, Mia Toomey, Kayla Lammers, all have crossed. Ellie Yonda, junior from Dordt, also comes in. Sophia Memelar, Dordt running extremely well here this afternoon. Great work on the finish line camera, seeing the runners cross. We'll let the camera do the work right now as we'll tally some results. But we'll let the cameras do it while we take a look at the results. Back at the Defender Cross Country course, the Sunflower Open, kind of tallying the scores now, and Dordt is going to win the team title. A perfect score, if you will, 15 points. So the unattached runners don't get calculated in the team scoring. So Dordt with 15 points, going 1 through 5 in terms of your team scores, led by freshman Corinne Brown, 1840. Jessica up for 1847. Isabella Webb, 1858. Individually, then you got to throw Christine Hanemichael and Taylor Onema, 2 legends in Dordt Cross Country and Track. They finished 4th and 5th, respectively. Then you go to J.C. Burris and Courtney Joyner, 6th and 7th place. Another Defender legend, Lucy Borkowski, was 8th. Then you have the first non-Dordt runner, Valeria Kurakova from Dakota State. 1927, she finished 9th. And then it's 4 straight Defender runners again. Jenny Burtis in 10th place, Molly Mulder in 11th, Hannah Thong 12th, and Olivia Hoagland. Thong and Hoagland, a pair of freshmen. Kara Muller from College of St. Mary was 14th, and a couple of Dakota State runners, Madeline Silva and Lindsay Roth. Roth, a national qualifier last year, was 16th. Courtney Spohr, a national qualifier for Morningside, was 17th. Kiera Miller, another Dakota State athlete, was 18th. Carly Henderson from St. Mary, 19th. And then you have 3 straight Dordt runners, Jada Kerner, Jenna Hirsch, and Olivia Graber, going 20, 21, and 22. Dordt wins the team title, a perfect score of 15 points. And then individually, top 3 finish, 1 through 3. Corinne Brown, Jessica Upfer, and Isabella Webb. Conclusion of the women's race. Runners still out on the course. We've had 88 runners cross the finish line area, says the live results. The field was supposedly going to be around 100 or so, give or take. You just never know about the late scratches or unattached runners sometimes, how many there are. But an outstanding job by all of these athletes, and what a showing by Coach Wolf and the defenders. Led by freshman Corinne Brown, your individual champion, 1840 at 7.5. Jessica Upfer, the junior, 1847, and Isabella Webb, a 1 through 3 finish for the defenders, a perfect score as Dordt wins their season debut, their home meet, with a perfect score of 15 points. Men's 8K race set to start at 10:35. So we'll try to set the stage on the men's side of things here in a moment. While you follow the drone footage, there's the look at the finish line, the newly built or newly renovated finish line with the Dordt finish line area and the 2 defender flags. A lot of crowd on hand as well. I'm going to get set for the men's race here momentarily. And we'll preview the men's side of things. That's coming up next on the Dordt Media Network.
Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Nutrition. Transform your health and wellness with 712 Nutrition. Stop in today for healthy, delicious protein shakes bundled with a supportive community. Start feeling your best today.
We appreciate the mission of Dordt, but more importantly, the organization, the team of people at Dordt live out that mission every day.
Dordt University's Christian perspective is thoughtfully and authentically applied in all areas of life. Live your faith in every area of life at Dordt University.
Homegrown. Community.
Family. Innovators.
Growth.
Faith.
Legacy.
We are dedicated to egg.
And welcome back to the Defender Cross Country Complex, or course, if you will. Conclusion of the women's 5K race, and Dordt wins the title, a perfect score of 15 points. Let's move into the men's 8K race. like to talk a little bit about the Defender men, if you will. And a little scouting report on the men's team. Of course, Nate Wolf, also the men's cross-country coach. This men's field, there are 7 teams, and again, around 100 runners are competing. And if you want to listen to that interview that Mike Biker did with head coach Nate Wolf, that is on our website. GPAC success on the men's side. Dordt has won 6 consecutive conference titles. 2018 was the first of that run, and they won last year's conference title, all under the direction of head coach Nate Wolf. And a fun fact, in 2021, Dordt scored a perfect 15 points in winning the GPAC championship. A look back at last season for this Defender men's team. They won the title in 23 points. 8 Dordt runners finished among the top 15, meaning they earned all conference honors. They were led by Conference Runner of the Year and GPAC champion Aiden Vorster, who is one of the runners returning this year. The all-conference runners from last year, Aiden Vorster first, Craig Becker second, Peter Shippey third, Isaac Davalar was 8th, Luke Swanson was 9th, Tage Holstein was 10th, Daniel Schroeder was 12th, and Ethan Summerhays was 14th for his work. Coach Wolf was named both the GPAC Coach of the Year and the Midwest Region Coach of the Year by the USTFCCCA. And Dordt placed among the top 10 in all 7 meets. They won 2 meets, placed second twice, placed third twice as well. National success. This is a Defender men's program. They've qualified for the NEI Championship 26 times, either both as a team or as an individual. They won the 2022 National Championship, and they've finished among the top 10 3 straight years, including an 8th place finish last year. How does Dordt stack up in the rankings so far? They begin the season ranked 9th in the NEI preseason poll, 3rd consecutive year. They've opened in the top 10, and they have a streak of 39 straight polls that they have been ranked in the top 25. They are the GPAC favorite. They were picked to win the GPAC title. About this roster, they returned 7 of their top 10 runners. A total of 20 runners return. Squad size of about 38 runners, 6 seniors, 9 juniors, 9 sophomores, 14 freshmen. And again, their schedule is just like the women's side. There are 4 regular season meets, 2 that are run here on their home course. They'll also run at Wayne State and at Mahoney State Park, which is a preview of the GPAC Championship on November 9, and the National Championship, it will be held in Columbia, Missouri on November 22. Coach Wolf, he has been the Midwest Region Coach of the Year 3 of the last 4 years, a 6-time GPAC Coach of the Year, and assisted by Jesse Veenstra and Bethany Ten Haken. Moments away from the start of this men's race, let's introduce just a little bit about the field, if we will, or if I can, and I think I will. Briar Cliff is in the field, and again, their coach, Chandler Cork. Briar Cliff picked 11th in the GPAC preseason poll. They ran at Augie last week, which was just a 4-mile course on the men's side, not a full distance. And they were led by Dimitri Hoseth, who finished 162nd place. Dakota State also ran last week, and they were picked to co-win the North Star Athletic Association conference title along with Dickinson State. And Dakota State was 18th out of 30 teams at Augie last week. They were 5th among NAI teams. They were led by Caleb Saylor, if that name rings a bell. Caleb is a Dakota Wesleyan transfer. He finished 70th last year and was also an NAI qualifier for Dakota Wesleyan. Dakota State has a couple of NAI qualifiers, Cody Farland and Taylor Myers as well. That is Dakota State. Also part of the field, Morningside, under the direction of head coach Frank Wallace. Morningside picked 7th in the GPAC preseason poll. They were 8th a year ago at the conference meet. They returned 5 of their top runners. Competed at Augie last week, 22nd out of 28 teams, led by Ian McKinley, who finished 135th place. Mount Marty, also in the field. Daniel Fitzsimmons in his 3rd season with the Lancers. They ran last week, 21st out of 30 teams, led by Logan Ferrari. He had a nice finish. 46th place, Joseph Cross was 92nd. Mount Marty picked 6 out of 11 teams in the GPAC preseason poll. Then you go to Northwestern under head coach Scott Barkey in his 13th season. 11 straight top 5 finishes in the conference for Coach Barkey and the Red Raiders. 2 GPAC titles back in 2016, 2017. And they were picked to finish tied with Mount Marty for 4th in the GPAC preseason poll. They finished 5th out of 11 teams, and they return 9 runners that ran at the conference meet last year. They ran last week, led by Ben Vandenberg, 116th place. And then you have USF, a NCAA Division II school from the Northern Sun. And USF picked 5th in the Northern Sun preseason poll, led by Ben Morrison, who was their number 2 runner last year. And he led them last week at Augie. He finished 17th place. And also Makati Shumway was 28th. All runners for USF last week at Augie ran PRs. That is your field. And it looks like the field is set to go at the start line. This will be a full 8K. 3 laps around this course. It's basically the same route as the ladies, along with a little extra loop kind of midway through. It's not a big loop whatsoever. And we are underway. We are underway for the men's 8K race. Several unattached runners. This is what I have down for unattached. Joe Anderson, former Dordt defender. Isaac Dole, who ran at USF. Alex Fike ran at Wisconsin Superior. Brian Santiago, he's a former Mount Marty Lancer. And then a couple more Dordt runners, Daniel Schroeder, Eric Steiger, Davis Tebben, Bailey Vandegreen, and Jacob Vanderplatz. All former Dordt runners are in the field. And like the women, it's about a field of around 100 or so. Dordt, Aiden Vorster, the defending GPAC champion. Dordt last year on the men's side, 2nd at their home meet. University of Sioux Falls is the defending champion. Edged out the defenders by just 2 points. Dordt last year led by then returning All-American Peter Shippey, Aiden Vorster. Then we're talking about the home meet last year. Daniel Schroeder was the 3rd runner. And Chase Camp, Sam May, Tage Holstein also all out there near the front of the pack. So it'll be 3 laps around. There you get to see the lead group. To me, that looks like Santiago, unattached runner from Mount Marty. And I've watched a lot of distance running cross-country races, and I only say that because Santiago has a tendency to start really fast, go out hard, set the pace early, and that looks to me like what he is doing there. And that lead group of runners has made the turn running back towards campus. And now we're going to switch to camera 2, get a good front look at these guys. And it looks to be Santiago out with the lead. Couple of Mount Marty guys right there. And then there is your Dordt runners led by Aiden Vorster. Saw Luke Swanson in the mix. Dordt not running full strength today. Brian Santiago, he won the title last year. And he is in the field. He won it unattached last year, and he returns to the field. The record set by Joe Anderson for Dordt back in 2022. 24:19 is the record. So these runners about halfway through their opening lap, that's where this camera is situated, right in the middle of the prairie. And you get to see on the screen some of the wildflowers. It really is a beautiful course. Again, the Defender women, they won the women's 5K race. They won their race, a perfect score of 15, led by freshman Corinne Brown. What a debut in a Defender uniform for her. I see the men. They're all heading back out towards East 1st Street on the southernmost point of this course. And so your lead pack probably has made the turn and is heading back to campus here. On the men's side of things, we're about 4.5 minutes into this men's 8K race that started at 10:35. Drone up and running. Powered by Drew DeVries, providing the drone footage. And there is a shot at the lead cart and your lead runners, and it looks to be Santiago out with the lead. And I'm thinking that those are two jerseys that are in the Lancer Navy. Logan Ferrari, a senior from New York. Joseph Cross, possibly, a freshman from Jefferson, South Dakota. Santiago, an unattached runner, the defending champion in this race, out in front. Then it looks to me like two Mount Marty gentlemen are running second and third. Ferrari and Cross. It's hard to tell exactly who they are because you can't see their number. So I'm just speculating. But that is your top three. And then you have three Dordt runners running 4, 5, and 6, along with a Dakota State. Aiden Vorster, Luke Swanson look to be part of that a pack. Dakota State. Caleb Saylor would be my guess. The Dakota Wesleyan transfer and national qualifier for Dakota Wesleyan. He transferred to Dakota State. Dordt got a transfer as well. Hunter Shanks, he's from went to Dakota Wesleyan, a grad transfer. Shanks part of the cross-country teams. He's ran 4 years at the conference meet. National qualifier in track and field as an 800 runner, both as a 4x8 and an open 8. So he's part of the Defender cross-country program as well. Your time, just shy of 7 minutes. And your lead group is now coming behind the press box as we speak. They will have 2 laps to go in this men's 8K race. Expecting around 100 runners. Several GPAC schools, Briar Cliff, Morningside, Northwestern, Mount Marty. You have Dakota State from the North Star Athletic Conference. And then NCAA Division II USF. There is a look at the 3 Dordt runners. Those are the top 3 Dordt runners. Vorster, Swanson, along with Dakota State. In that pack of 4. And then there are your leaders, the lead trio, if you will. Santiago, unattached, former Mount Marty standout. And then Logan Ferrari. Pretty sure he's one of those 2 Mount Marty runners. Just past the 2022 National Championship banner that the Defenders won down in Tallahassee, Florida. That was a great day. And your leader, Brian Santiago. Email address is matt.boss@dort.edu. Let us know where you're listening from. Shout out to Terry Boss tuning in from Orange City, Iowa. Avid Defender cross country and track and field fan. Santiago, your leader, but closing the gap is a Mount Marty runner. Logan Ferrari, a senior, returning letter winner for the Lancers, and for the first time we have a new leader. It is Mount Marty. Slight lead over Santiago. And your lead pack, your lead group now, this is the second lap. They are making the turn toward the west. They have just finished a long downhill straightaway. Running along East 1st Street. Just under a 400-meter stretch going west, and then they will turn back towards campus, and that's the spot where we typically switch cameras from the drone to a stationary camera out in the prairie. Getting that good wide shot. Great job by the Dordt Media Network crew. They have a busy day. If I can just give a shout out to that group. They have soccer right after this. A 1 o'clock start time for the women. 3 o'clock start for the men. And, oh, yeah, their day's not over because they have afternoon and early evening volleyball at home as Dordt taking on Northwestern in a GPAC matchup. Coach Jackie Smith and the Defenders unbeaten on the year at 2-0 in the conference. Taking on number 1 Northwestern. That should be a good one. Women's soccer playing Nebraska Wesleyan. Coach Alex Durbin has his team playing well, out to a 3-1 record. Karina Tell has been named GPAC Player of the Week. Jenna Wright, GPAC and National Player of the Week, as they upset Benedictine about a week ago, just over a week ago. Wright with what we think is a program record 21 saves. And then the men's soccer playing Central. Those are both final tune-ups before conference play starts for the men's and women's soccer programs. They'll open on the road in Fremont, Nebraska on Wednesday against Midland. One other shout-out to the golf teams. They'll be making the trip to the Black Hills area, both the men and the women, on Monday and Tuesday. There is your leaders, Mount Marty and then Santiago, the unattached runner who went to Mount Marty, running 1-2. They have opened up a pretty substantial lead. There's Aiden Vorster for Dordt. Eric Steiger running unattached, former Dordt runner, also part of that. Luke Swanson there, Tage Holstein. As they make that turn, great job, camera 2. And now you're going to see a bunch of runners coming up and making the turn. Dordt running well. There's Josiah Wittenberg, junior for the Defenders. Derek Vanderleest. Chase Camp, Sam May, Daniel Schroeder, another Dordt legend, unattached, running well. There's Davis Tebben, Caden Van Weingarten for the Defenders. Bailey Vandegreen, another Dordt legend. There's Taven Schroeder, Thaniel's younger brother. Taven, a freshman this year for the Defender Cross Country program from Spencer, South Dakota. Great shot by camera 2 out in the prairie. We get a good look at the faces of these guys. Isaac Voss. There's Ezra Landman running by. Easton Vandenberg. Levi Bird just went by for the Defenders. Jonathan Breams. These runners that you're seeing on screen about halfway into this race. That's probably where I would say that they are at. There's Devin Van Zanten. Graham Vandevecht also went by for the Defenders. Time on the clock of the men's race, 13:15 right now, and there's a look at the leaders. Still a very tight race between Mount Marty and an unattached runner. Brian Santiago is that young man's name. Running well. Those two have had the lead, and they have really opened up a larger lead over the third-place runner. It looks to be Ferrari and Santiago. Shout out to Rod DeBoer tuning in from Orange City. Shout out to the DeHaans who are watching from Fort Myers, Florida. Way to go, ladies, on the perfect score. Says that it's very hot and humid in Florida. It is that time of year, mid-September. It's kind of a grind. And someone named Isabel Pfeiffer has emailed me, listening and watching from Denver, Colorado. I think I remember you, Isabel. I think you had a really cool couple of bosses that you worked for on campus. I think. It's just a guess. But thank you for your emails. Keep them coming. Just shy of 15 minutes in this men's 8K race. We are over halfway. Your lead runners will come across the finish line, I speculate, probably in about 10 minutes or so. Defender men ranked 9th in the preseason poll. They are picked to win the conference once again. You may notice I've not called like Craig Becker's name or Ethan Summerhays, two guys who are getting the weekend off, but probably are in the middle of things for us, pending good health, of course. Summerhays, 3-time All-Conference, All-American last year as well. He led us at Nationals, a 21st place finish out in Washington. He had a great year, and Craig Becker, an outstanding year last year, running for Dordt for the first time. But both of those guys just getting a rest day. Again, bigger things in mind. The goal is to be peaking postseason. And there is your leaders. Santiago back out in front. Mount Marty, Logan Ferrari running second. Dordt, that pack of Dordt runners kind of closing the gap. Part of that pack of Dordt or former Dordt runners, Eric Steiger, Aiden Vorster, Tage Holstein also in there, I believe. 1 lap to go. Here is the start line right there, and the finish line just down the way. Santiago back in the lead on the men's 8K side. 16.5 minutes. Nice drone shot of that long straightaway. That is a downhill. Yeah, that's Swanson and Holstein there. Vorster is the top Dordt runner, it looks like to me. Great shot of the championship banner that the Defenders won in 2022. Still remember that day very, very clearly. Down in Tallahassee. What a day that was. It's where the legend of Peter Shippey started. Final lap for these runners. Heading down the long downhill straightaway. Running this course over the summer several times. This was the part where I enjoyed, the downhill stretch. Not so much fun going the other way. Just over 18 minutes gone by. And again, a shout out to the great Terry Boss. Watching, tuning in from Orange City, Iowa. There's a look at Coach Wolf encouraging his runners as they go down that home straightaway. Shout out to Jordan and Krista Grote tuning in from the Iowa City area, North Liberty to be exact, tuning in. former Defender runners. Devin and Eliana Boss also listening from their couch in Sioux Center, Iowa. Just shy of 19 minutes gone by, and the drone tracking down your lead group right now as they make the turn towards campus. There is the lead group right there. And it looks to be a gold jersey out front. We have a new leader. Camera 2 will pick it up. And it is Eric Steiger, unattached runner, former Defender, with the lead. He has passed both Santiago and Ferrari, the runner from Mount Marty. Eric Steiger. There's Aiden Vorster, the top Dordt runner. Vorster, GPAC champion last year, national qualifier. Luke Swanson, Tage Holstein. There's a Dakota State. Speculating that's Caleb Saylor. There's Joe Anderson, former Defender. He is the course record holder, 24:19 run in 2022. Levi Landman running well. And again, these will be shots that you can see the bib numbers on. See some faces of these runners. Hunter Shanks, Daniel Schroeder. There's Josiah Wittenberg, Sam May. Chase Camp, Derek Vandeleest. There's Davis Tebben. Owen Crable, sophomore from Fredericktown, Ohio. Great shot, camera 2. Nice work. There's Taven Schroeder, another freshman for the Defenders. Caden Van Weingarten coming around. Again, the runners are on their final lap. 21:28 is the time on the clock. There's Bailey Vandegreen, former Defender runner. Dakota State making another turn. There's two more Dakota State. Got a Mount Marty. USF, the only non-NAI team competing. Part of the NCAA Division II. Northern Sun Conference. They're picked to finish 5th in that conference. Eric Steiger, former Defender runner, was the leader running unattached. Had a slight lead over another unattached runner, Brian Santiago. And as the drone goes up, we can see that Steiger has extended that lead over Santiago and Ferrari, a Mount Marty runner. In terms of, if you take out your unattached runners, Logan Ferrari from Mount Marty is your leader. There's Aiden Vorster, kind of on an island right now. No one around him. When I've run in a few road races, I kind of like to be around people. You kind of feel all by yourself. Some people probably like it, but I'll have to ask Aiden if he's all for that. But he's kind of on an island right now by himself. There you see the extra small loop that the men have to do in this 8K race. It's not a big one. And there's Steiger, your leader. Eric Steiger running unattached for Dordt. He is your leader. Your record, 24:19. I think that record might hold. We'll see what kind of kick up. Santiago, though, really making a kick. Trying to track down Eric Steiger. Logan Ferrari of Mount Marty, a solid 3rd place right now. Steiger, Santiago, and Ferrari. Running 1, 2, 3. And this is the final stretch for these three runners. Coming back towards the soccer field, straight away here, and then they'll make the turn south down the finish line area in the chute. Steiger, Santiago, leading. Just over 24 minutes. Looks like Joe Anderson's record set back in 2022 is going to hold up. 24:19 was that record. In a moment, the lead cart will peel off, spin around, and it'll be the runners. It'll be Eric Steiger with the lead. See if he can hold off Santiago, his fellow unattached runner. And there's Eric Steiger. Makes the turn, takes a peek behind him. And Eric Steiger, 100 meters away from winning the individual title here at the 2024 Sunflower Open. Eric Steiger, one more quick glance back. An All-American for the Defenders during his running career here. And Eric Steiger is going to win the individual title here this morning. And there's Santiago, another unattached runner in second. I'm speculating that this is Logan Ferrari of Mount Marty. 25:09 is the winning time for Steiger. Santiago 25:16, Ferrari 25:23. There's Aiden Vorster. Dordt finished fourth. And now we're going to plant that camera right at the finish line, and we should be able to see. There's Luke Swanson. $25.44 for Swanson. Joe Anderson, the record holder on this course. Then Tage Holstein, another Dordt runner. Here's Saylor from Dakota State. Top 10 finish. Transfer from Dakota Wesleyan. Truman Johnson, outstanding freshman for the Defenders from Saline, Michigan, gets into the top 10. Dordt with Vorster, Swanson, Holstein, Johnson, and Levi Landman in 10th place. Your first USF runner in 11th. There's Nathaniel Schroeder, another former Defender runner, running unattached. Sam May for the Defenders, 14th place. Dordt right now has all 5 across. Good shape to win the team title. Joseph Cross of Mount Marty, Josiah Wittenberg, Jacob Vanderplatz, another unattached runner for the Defenders. Owen Craybill, I just saw him cross the finish line for Dordt. Crable with a good time, 27:04. Got to start looking if these are PRs. Crable, yeah, that's a big PR for Crable. Chase Camp, 17th place finish. Just shy of a personal best. Josiah Wittenberg, he set a PR today, 26:41. Taven Schroeder, Derek Vanderleest coming in, 21st. Schroeder, freshman from Freeman. Derek Vanderleest. Hunter Shanks from Dakota Wesleyan, transfer from Dakota Wesleyan. He's a graduate transfer running for the Defenders. 22nd place, another freshman, Brett Gifford, running in 23rd. Isaac Fagan, another freshman, 24th. Dordt, really some nice depth right there. Getting some contributions from a lot of different people. Again, all 5 runners that scored are across for Dordt, in good shape to take home the team title. Caden Van Weidengarten, a sophomore for the Defenders, just outside of the top 25. Trace Obink, another Dordt freshman, 31st. So Dordt running well. 41 runners have crossed, and again, that number's speculating at about 100. It's going to be a little less than that, I dare bet. Love the drone shot of the finish line area. That's the way to go. Great shot there of the finish line, the newly renovated finish line. Justin Rigg for Dordt. Abel Squires. A couple of Morningside runners, Blake Cerveni and R.C. Hicks. Jace Kofer from USF. Isaac Voss, Ben Gosling, couple of sophomores. Easton Vandenberg also. Ezra Landman, a freshman for the defenders. Jonathan Breams as the runners. We've had, 65 runners come by. And across the finish line, it's going to be less than 100. But a great job by our Dordt Media Network crew to make this broadcast possible, providing the video footage. I get the easy job. Beautiful morning, not very windy. And we like it when it's not windy because then the drone can go up and not have to battle the wind. Runners continue to cross the finish line area. Jonathan Breams, 60th place. Sammy King, Justin Cruz, Lawson Burkhart, 3 Dordt freshmen. Levi Bird, Devin Van Zanten, Graham Vandevecht, all coming across. 73 runners have finished as the drone continues to hang out around the finish line area. So Dordt will win the team title. 22 points is their score. Runners that scored 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th. Your 6th and 7th runners, 10th and 11th, towards the team scoring. Your individual champion, Eric Steiger, unattached runner, 25:09. If you take out your unattached runners, Logan Ferrari of Mount Marty is your champion. Aiden Vorster finished 4th. Luke Swanson 5th. Tage Holstein 7th. Truman Johnson was 9th. Levi Landman 10th. Sam May 14th. And your 6th and 7th runners for Dordt, Sam May and Josiah Wittenberg. Those are rounds out your top 7 for the defenders. Chase Camp just behind Sam. Owen Craybill, Derek Vanderleest, Taven Schroeder, Hunter Shanks, Brett Gifford, Isaac Fagan, all top 25 finishes for this defender group. So the Dordt men join the Dordt women as the meet champion. Pair of championships today for the men's and women's in their season debut on the Defenders' home course, Dordt Sunflower Open. Corinne Brown, your individual champion, freshman for Dordt. She was the women's champion. Eric Steiger, unattached, is your men's champion. 25:09 for Steiger. Corinne's time was 18:40. We will do this again in a couple of weeks. Dordt will host the Holiday Inn Express Classic on October 12th. Women will run a 6K there. The men will run an 8K. Next up for the cross-country team, Wildcat Classic on September 28th down in Wayne, Nebraska. Again, just 4 regular season meets for cross-country and then the GPAC Championship. So we're going to call it quits. Thank you for joining us on the Dordt Media Network. Women's soccer set to start at 1 p.m. Pregame coverage around 12:45. For the Dordt Media Network crew,